It's 6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved to approve.
Second. Motion by Diane and second by Steve to approve the agenda. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Council workshop report. These are the minutes of the August 19th, 2013 Hampton City Council workshop. Members present were Davies, Eckhart, Crowley, and Hageback. Absent were Harms and Lugensweig. Also present were myself, City Manager Ron Dunt, Public Works Director Doug Tarr. Pledge of Allegiance cited. Offered time for public comment. There were no comments. Ron explained that the city is the deed holder of the GAR Memorial Hall property and Franklin County maintains the property and structure. Dunn stated that this agreement has been a source of confusion over the years and suggested the City Council consider deeding ownership to the county. Councilman Davies gave an example of a recent matter where the Hampton Historic Preservation Commission received a grant for the rehabilitation of the property. As the owner of record, the city was the recipient of the grant, but the county was the administrator of the rehabilitation project. Davies agreed that it would be a cleaner setup if the county owned title. Consensus was to have Ron approach Franklin County supervisors to gauge interest in accepting title to the property. Councilman Eckhart expressed an interest in creating a property owner recognition or award for property owners of well-kept properties. Council favored such a program and directed Ron to look into what some other communities have done. Doug handed out some information obtained from other cities on doggy swim programs. Consensus was to have staff organize a doggy swim program for September 2nd, 2013 from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Hampton Aquatic Center. Participants will be limited to dogs which are currently vaccinated and registered with the City of Hampton. Owners will be required to sign a release and consent form. Owners will be responsible for leashing their pets when not in the water, cleaning up after their pets, and keeping them under control. Pets will not be allowed on the slide features. There is no charge for the event, however, there will be a free will offering accepted. Ron updated the council on the fire department request to sell the 1967 Plymouth Fury station wagon. The fire department has decided to sell the vehicle on the internet auction site eBay. Ron passed out a draft resolution for the council to consider at the August 22nd, 2013 meeting, which authorizes the auction sale, sets the reserve bid price, authorizes city manager to convey title and transfer net proceeds to the Hampton Fire Department after the sale. Eckhart pointed out that there will be fees associated with the internet auction sale and suggested the fire department accept payment by certified cashier's check. Doug updated the council on the recent leak detection survey conducted for the water infrastructure in Hampton. A couple of minor leaks were detected and staff will schedule repairs. With no other business to discuss, the meeting was concluded at 6:40 p.m. The council then went into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code 20.17, paragraph 3, to discuss negotiations with the collective bargaining unit. With that, I'll offer time for public comment now. Anything tonight? Okay. Move on. We do have on the agenda a public hearing regarding a notice to abate nuisance issued to North Iowa Rentals LLC, Milton Heidi, owner of the property. Milton, I believe, requested the hearing, but then I think he called to say he wasn't going to make it, so we'll have to comply, I think, with whatever notices you guys have sent out. Is that correct? That's correct. That's all we have there. Next, we have approval of claims as submitted by staff tonight. That's in the amount of $288,390.16. Claims tonight include a reimbursement to Iowa Economic Development Authority, Vision Iowa CAP for 20% of the grant award in the amount of $160,000. Take a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Steve and a second by Val to approve the claims in the amount of $288,390.16. Any discussion?
Mayor, I went through claims that we were submitted with our packets, and I thought it was kind of ironic, but I see that the same person, Milton Heidi, who wants to contest a nuisance abatement notice, was also paid $60 to mow nuisance properties. I just found it rather ironic that you don't see any problem with taking money for mowing other people's nuisances, but can't see your own.
I agree. Ironic indeed. Any other discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is consideration of approval and adoption of Resolution 2013-17. It's a resolution authorizing the City of Hampton to dispose of a retired fire department vehicle by internet auction, 1967 Plymouth Fury station wagon, authorizing the city manager to convey title. I'll refer reading of the resolution to City Manager Dunn.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas the City of Hampton desires to dispose of a retired fire department vehicle, 1967 Plymouth Fury 2 station wagon, VIN number PL 45G791998822, and whereas the Hampton Fire Department requests the vehicle be sold by internet auction site eBay, and whereas the City of Hampton has determined this to be a fair and reasonable process for disposal of said vehicle, and whereas the Hampton Fire Department has requested to have the Hampton City Council transfer the proceeds of the vehicle sale to the fire department, and the Hampton City Council has agreed to do so. Now therefore be it resolved by the Hampton City Council, Hampton, Iowa, that the Hampton Fire Department is hereby authorized to list said vehicle on eBay for sale with a reserve bid of, to be determined by motion, and upon completion of bidding and receipt of valid bid at or above the reserve level, to authorize the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary for the sale of said vehicle and transfer of title and transfer funds to the Hampton Fire Department upon receipt. We had discussed at the workshop a possible reserve bid amount, minimum amount that would sell for. We would request that the council determine that amount as part of approving this resolution if you choose to approve this resolution. I recommended to Chief Wilkinson if he or somebody from the fire department could come and give some input on what they'd like to see as a reserve. No one was able to come. However, Kent texted me about an hour ago and indicated that they felt maybe a fair reserve amount would be $2,000. So take that into consideration. He indicated that it probably wouldn't happen immediately. He's gotta get it running, make sure it's running good, make sure there's nothing else that needs to be done, probably still be clean it up and things like that. So, but you're not gonna do anything like that until something like this would be approved. So, any questions?
He did have an offer that was substantially less than 2,500.
They had a verbal offer of 500. And a clarification on the mileage, it does have the title that on the title that we have showed mileage of 120,000 and some change, and showed that to Kent, and so right now it's got 130,000 on it. So
Any other questions? Take a motion then.
Move to approve, Mayor, with the reserve price of $2,000.
Second.
So we got a motion by Craig and a second by Steve to set the reserve asking price for the auction of 1967 Plymouth Fury station wagon at $2,000 and to approve and adopt resolution 2013-17. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go forward with the vote. Davies?
Aye.
Arms?
Aye.
Eckhart?
Aye.
Lucasmeyer?
Aye.
Crowley?
Aye.
Augubright?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is resolution 2013-18, a resolution naming depositories. I'll refer to reading to City Manager Dunn.
thank you. This resolution is a resolution naming depositories. The only change on this is, I think the last time we adopted it may have been in 2009, possibly. But our auditor, in doing the audit this week, noticed that First Bank Hampton was not shown. It was still shown on this resolution as First National Bank. So they recommended that we update this. So we made the changes, and really nothing else has changed on this. The limits are the same. The maximum balances for each financial institution remain the same in that far right column. So the only thing that's changed is the First Bank Hampton being changed. Thank you.
Any questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Diana, second by Dick to approve and adopt resolution 2013-18. Any further discussion? Have the vote. Hogback.
Aye.
Eckhart.
Aye.
Crowley.
Aye.
Harms.
Aye.
Davies.
Aye.
Lukensmeyer.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next is ordinance number 344. This is a second reading. An ordinance providing for the closure of a portion of the alley between Federal Street South and First Street Southeast in Block 20, original town of Hampton, Iowa, consisting of approximately 81 feet in length. Refer to City Manager Dunn for comments or questions.
I guess just in review, this basically would be closure of the north 81 feet of the alley between Federal Street South and First Street Southeast in Block 20, original town of Hampton. Declared closed to public vehicle use, subject to easements of record and a reservation of any easement by the City of Hampton, Iowa, and successors oversight each. Purpose of installing, operating, maintaining, repairing any public utility, including but not limited to water, sewer, and communication lines, along with the right of entry upon such property for such purposes, and reserving the easement for the private or public utility to continue current use, whether an easement has been recorded or not, to install, operate, maintain, or repair any such utility along the right of way, entry upon such property for such purposes. Thank you.
There's no questions. I entertain a motion.
I move we approve the second reading of ordinance 344.
Second.
It's a motion by Jim and a second by Craig to approve the second reading of ordinance number 344. Any discussion? On the vote, Eckhart.
Aye.
Harms.
Aye.
Davies.
Aye.
Lukensmeyer.
Aye.
Crowley.
Aye.
Hogback.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next is the consent agenda. Tonight that includes approving the previous minutes as drafted from the Tuesday, August 6, 2013 joint session with Franklin County and Franklin County Emergency Management Commission. Approving the previous minutes as drafted from the Thursday, August 8th, 2013 regular session meeting, scheduling the next regular session for Thursday, September 12th, 2013 at 6 p.m. at City Council Chambers, and switching the Thursday, September 26th, 2013 regular session to Monday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. due to scheduling conflicts. There's no questions. I entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion by Val and a second by Diane to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Staff reports. Fire Chief Wilkinson is not with us. Police Chief Schaefer is on vacation. Captain Hilton is here.
I'm gonna give you a little rundown on the nuisances. As of January 1st through August 22nd of this year, we've had 6 nuisance citations issued, 2 which were for illegal burning. 84 nuisance letters were served, with 80 of those being closed, 4 remained open. For the nuisance complaints, which we call CRs, that's criminal reports, 135 of those with 126 closed and 9 remaining open, so that's not really too bad. So we're still working on that. Next thing I'll do here is introduce Tim Olson. Tim Olson is a member of the Hampton Police Department. He started in May 30th of this year. In 2013, he was a graduate from Simpson College with a degree as a bachelor's degree, I guess it's criminal justice. And the plans are in January of this coming next year, he'll be attending ILEA for 14 week.
There's a commitment.
I think we're gonna cut that back to 14. So, your attention there for the next hour, because he's gonna tell you all about himself. At the next meeting, then I'll have Chief Schaefer go ahead and introduce the newest officer, which is going to be Dave Kelly from the West Springs. That'll go ahead and take care of the introduction here. So we can kind of give him a little bit of a rundown and what you're all about, okay?
Like Captain Hilton said, my name is Tim Olson. I grew up in southwest Iowa in Atlantic, then I went to college in Simpson, just north of Des Moines in Indianola. I got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice there. I'm married. My wife and I got married here in December. She's a preschool teacher at the Christian daycare here in town, so we're just starting to get settled down and excited for whatever comes up next. So thank you. Thanks for letting me come to your town. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
You
Thanks.
bet. Thank you.
We will keep it at 14 weeks.
Doug Carr.
Thank you, Mayor. The alley improvement project for this year is underway, starting today. It'll go through Monday. There's gonna be, the timeframes are a little odd, struggled with, the contractor a little bit, with their schedule. They showed up a little early, we had an issue with that, so, we got that all straightened out, and, about the third press release I got out, we got it right, unfortunately. I apologize for any inconvenience that may cause anybody at the radio station, Craig, so, but, it was quite the conversation we had, that day. But anyway, nonetheless, we got an improvement project going on, and that's great. Just got finished with the 8th Street Northwest, Bridge project. That road's been opened up to traffic now, looks pretty good down there. I encourage anyone to drive by, because I'll probably be asking to do that to another one here in the next year or two, in the same area of town. But anyway, does anybody have any questions, concerns? Kind of a lot going on. It's that time of year. We got a lot of projects here and there, so.
Can you tell us what happened with the smoke complaint at the compost site?
Yeah, and, and I spoke with staff a little bit about this today. We kind of went over that, but what basically had taken place was, they've been burning as directed when it went out of the south. And, there was quite a number of days before staff got to burning again, so there was quite a large accumulation. And we did burn small piles, but we burned a lot of small piles without getting rid of the ash. So we did, there was a little bit of smoldering left over, and lo and behold, the humidity last night, along with the wind, died down to completely nothing there for a while, caused us some grief. Understand that, we're gonna do our best to improve upon that a little bit more. We talked about it, down the street barn today a little bit. So, happened, and hopefully we're trying really hard not to let that happen, but, it hasn't been as easy, but some of the discussion I had was, just because we have a whole bunch there, does not mean we have to burn it all in 1 or 2 days. Keep it small, and then in between burns, get rid of the ash that's there, so no longer there. So I think there's a little bit of understanding what's expected, what's wanted, and how we need to proceed a little bit. And it will be completely extinguished from now on, every time with water. So it's about the best we can do. It's going to take us a lot longer to get it done, but hey, that's what we have to do to keep from getting the complaints. So. That's what we intend to do.
We had just one complaint.
Yeah, we burned a few times now.
That's
but
important, I'm not saying it isn't.
Yeah, we just had the one last night, and doggone it, it just, can't control the weather sometimes, but nonetheless, it should have been, completely out to begin with. I think what's hard is, as you know, people have been around the fires and stuff, the wood that we're burning is the smaller stuff still. I mean, we're sticking to our guns with what we put in place, but you'll get an ash, or a small ash tree, or brush, what have you. Then you might get pine. That pine's it's gonna just burn up, it's gonna be gone. Well, the ashes, even the small pieces will stay hard and burn for a little bit of time there as well. You start compounding with the amount of brush that we have, it's a potential. So, but like I said, we'll work hard and improve on it, and I think that's the best thing we can do to go forward. Okay, thank you.
Ron?
Thank you. I have requested to be on the agenda for the Franklin County Supervisors meeting on Monday, so I am on the agenda, I understand. So we'll talk about the GAR Memorial property, see what kind of reaction we get. I just want to welcome Officer Tim Olson. And, anybody have any questions?
Council reports, Val?
I just had a couple things. When they announced the docs on the radio, it's probably already been corrected, but it was said on Tuesday instead of Monday, but it's been, has that been corrected?
I heard the same thing.
Did you? Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because it was said once, and then about 10 minutes later it was said again, so, and they said Tuesday night from 6 to 8.
Okay, we'll have to check, see if it's our press release that
Yeah.
was on our
Yeah.
radio. We'll check into that.
Okay, so I just wanna make sure on that, and then also I was just gonna mention, it was actually my daughter, but she has seen it before. There's two about 10-year-old boys, and she's seen them just a couple times, and they did it again tonight when she got out of school, and they sit like on that south side of the high school, like by the apartments, and she said you could just tell they're gonna they play the game of running across the street with all the traffic, and I know you guys patrol it, but I was just gonna make you aware of it. She did stop and ask them not to do that, because somebody's gonna get hit and get hurt, but I just told her I would, because she's seen it
Is
before.
that one by the Lantern Park Apartments?
I think so, if I'm following her directions correctly, I think so. But she was really concerned, because she said, there's so much traffic, and that's what, and she asked, where are your parents, and I don't know where she went that, but she said, that they said that they were at home, and the only thing that kind of threw me is they should have been in school yet. They don't get out until after high school, correct?
What day was that?
That was today, so, anyway, I just thought I'd let you.
Yeah, anytime that she happens to see that, just have her stop at the police department or call in, and then that way we can have an officer go up there and check it out and find out who we are.
And if that is what I told her, is the next time just stop and call the police department and have them get up there, so, alright, thank you, that's all.
Just one thing, I'll be attending the Preserve Iowa Summit down in Burlington tomorrow and Saturday.
One thing I have is welcome to town.
Great.
Thank you, Mayor. Glad to hear that the 8th Street Bridge is finally open. I know that that's been a long process, and I appreciate Doug's willingness to stick with that. I mean, that was pretty troubling at times. We did a good job, as always, and thank you for your diligence on that. I shared with the council some emails that I received about nuisance properties within the community. It's kind of what I talked about at the last meeting when people come to town for a class reunion and seeing this, and I asked them to share their thoughts. And sometimes it is kind of nice to see things through a fresh set of eyes, if you will. I just think it kind of behooves us all to pay attention to our own properties, and don't be afraid to call if you see something. I mean, we gotta take care of our town. The last thing I have, I also would like to welcome Officer Olson. I think you'll find that you're in a good place, and a good group of people, and looking forward to working with you. Congratulations for getting the job too. Steve?
Yes, I want to make a comment with the same thing with the bridge. I've had several of the residents from up in that area approach me and say how nice a job was done on that. I have to go up and down it now all the time with the bus, and I think it's wider than it was before, isn't it?
Yep, a little bit.
Sometimes before it was, I seen like a garbage truck go through there and they could barely make it where it was at now. And again, welcome, Tim. Watch out for that guy.
I won't be here much longer.
Welcome also, Tim, glad to have you aboard. To echo what you were saying, I had a note of watching out for kids. The school's on. The traffic at 12th Avenue and Highway 65 is horrible 2 times during the day, so avoid that intersection whenever you can. But watch out for kids, because they don't pay as good of attention as they should many times. And I just wanted to formally in the council chambers announce that I am going to be running for re-election at large seat. I'm very glad that we have one candidate for mayoral spot, Rick Younger, but I also want to say that it's about the people's choice. And if there are any people out there that are interested, I'd like to see these positions be the people's choice. So I encourage anybody to run for a position that they might be interested in. We have nobody running yet that I'm aware of for Ward 4 for Greg Flatter. Jim spotted in Ward 2.
I just need to add that, in a meeting this week with some legal representation regarding the complaint from, one Krabby. And, he's, doing a lot of due diligence on that for us, and, we certainly appreciate that. And, he's, responding to the, HUD investigators, as they ask their questions, and, we can get this wrapped up pretty quick. Confident that, no wrongdoing will be found. If there's nothing else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned at 6:29.
Yep. No, at the Christian daycare. She's a preschool teacher.
Is this for you?